All right, this is going to be the portfolio website you're going to learn how to create and host for free. Now, there's a couple parts of it. The first part, of course, is this nice little image here on the left that you can interchange with your own image. Then we're going to have, of course, your name over here and the profession you want or maybe are currently working in. Below that, you're going to have a nice little welcome section where you can go ahead, have a nice little welcome message. Below that, you can go ahead and talk about yourself a little bit with this About Me section, maybe what you want to achieve or what you're working towards. Below that, you can go ahead and show off some of your skills and abilities, such as maybe if you're a writer and you want to show off your technical writing, editing, or vocabulary skills. And below that, you can go ahead and state some of your projects, the partners you've joined with, or maybe some projects completed, or happy clients, or even books or other projects you've completed as well. Awesome. Below that, you're going to have the experience section where you're going to go ahead and talk about the experiences you've had, maybe with some other projects or work you've done in the past for other companies. All right, and below that, we're going to have this nice little contact section where you can go ahead and talk about where you're from or your phone number and also email contact. Last but not least, you're going to have a nice little last updated so people know that this has been updated recently. Now, the last thing you're going to do is this little navigation bar over here. You're going to be able to go ahead and select through and go to certain parts of the website as well. Awesome. All right, let's go ahead, jump right in and get started. Alright, so these are the steps for part 1. Part 1 is going to be dedicated for people who do not want a technical overview of how the code is actually working and basically just want the portfolio up and running on a host. Awesome. So we're going to start off with downloading Notepad++. That's the link right there. Then we're going to go ahead, copy and paste the source code, which is attached to the video in the description. Then we're going to go ahead, change the name, about skills, and anything else you want to change. Then we're going to go ahead, create the GitHub account, and then we're going to use that GitHub account to publish the code and the images you want on the portfolio. Let's go ahead and jump right in. All right, so this is the first step. We're going to go ahead and download Notepad++. So this is the official website. It's going to be notepad-plus-plus.org and then /downloads. Make sure you're here and you download the top one right here. You should leave everything as the default settings. You shouldn't have to change anything. Awesome. So once you've downloaded that, let's go ahead and jump into the next part, which is going to be copying the source code. So the link for this should be in the description for the video. Once you get to here, it should say portfolio-website-template. So go ahead into this page, and now we're going to be selecting this one folder or file, the index.html. Go ahead, select that. Then we're going to want to go ahead and copy all the code in here. So simply enough, go ahead, select here, do a Control-A, and it should highlight all the code inside of this. Go ahead, copy that. Perfect. Awesome. So once you've copied that, let's go ahead and open up a new document in Notepad++. Once open, you should get a screen just like this. And simply enough, we're just going to go ahead, Control-V to paste it, or Control or right-click and paste. That's up to you. Awesome. Now to make this look a little better, I'm going to go ahead and change the color. So go to Settings right over here on the top. We're going to go down to Style Configurator. Go to the selected theme right over here. I'm going to drop this down and I'm going to do the deep blue or ruby blue. There we go. Makes it a little easier to see. Go ahead, save and close. Perfect. Now another thing we can do to make this easier to read, go ahead, Control-A to highlight everything. Awesome. Let's go up here to the language and then let's go ahead and find HTML. That should be in the H section. So go ahead, let's find that. HTML. Awesome. All right, perfect. Now it's a little easier to read overall. And of course, another thing we could do is zoom in or zoom out just so we can navigate a little better. I'm going to keep mine a little closer. There we go. Awesome. All right, so a couple things to note here is what exactly we want to change. So if we scroll all the way up to the top, we're going to have a couple sections here. At the top, this is just for some tab stuff. In the next video, we're going to go over in more detail about how this all works. But if we're simply just going to be posting this and hosting it, let's go ahead and just change what we need. So if I scroll on down here a little bit, after the body paragraph right over here, we're going to scroll past the navigator section, which is this section right here. We're going to scroll all the way down. Should be on line about 100. It's going to ask for your name. So let's go ahead and change that. I'm going to change this just to something simple. I'm just going to say Bob. Awesome. And then if you wanted to change maybe the profession, you could do that as well. That's going to be right there. Okay, that's up to you. I'm going to leave it the same for me though. Now the other thing we're going to do is we're going to be looking for the source image of basically the profile, the picture. All right, and that's going to be this right here. So see this image here? That's going to be exactly where we're looking for it. So in that path towards it is going to be the face.jpg. Now, what's this little // thing? So basically when we're hosting something, we're using it on a file. And how we navigate files is the dot and the slash to go back one, because we're going to be back one and then looking for the face.jpg. So whatever file or picture you're going to be uploading, make sure you have that // and then of course the name and then the type. For mine, it's of course JPG. Yours might be a PNG. That's just up to you, whatever image you're going to be uploading. All right, awesome. Don't forget to do it here as well. It's going to be the same thing. This one here is going to be for the smaller one, and this one here is going to be for the bigger one. It's going to change depending on how big the web page is. So make sure you put the same one for each one here. Awesome. All right, if you scroll on down now, it's going to be the welcome section right here. So this whole part is going to be the welcome section. So you can go ahead and say welcome here, exclamation point if you want, or you can change that. That's up to you. Then we're going to have the little paragraph. That's what this P is resembling, the paragraph. So you can go ahead, put your welcome message right there. Awesome. The next one is going to be the about section, and we're going to have a couple things in here. Of course, you have the header of it, which is the about me. You can change that to something else if you want. Then we're going to have the paragraph for that, which is all going to be in this section. Okay, awesome. All right, so if you scroll on down now, we're going to have the skills part. That's going to be the header for that, which is my skills. And for the first one, it's going to be for technical writing. If you want to change that, of course, you can change the name and then, of course, the percentage of it as well, which I put 95. And if you want to change the width of that to match it, all you got to do is match it with this right here. Okay, see how the style says width 95%? Then you can change yours to whatever you want to match it with here. Now you can do the same thing for the editing part as well. You can change the header, you can change the percentage, make sure to change it in both though. And then last, you could do it for this one as well. That's completely up to you. All right, awesome. So that's it for the skills section. If you scroll on down though, it's going to have the one for I think this one's for the partners, projects done. Yep, this is the other percentages that we did. So if you want to change these as well, you can do that. We're going to have, of course, the name of it and then the 10 plus or 5 plus, whatever you want to put there for the amount. Okay, awesome. So go ahead, edit this as you need or as you want. Then after that, we're going to have the experience section. Okay, this is going to be similar to the about and welcome. We're going to start off with, of course, the header, which is going to be the experience. Then below that, we're going to have each individual section now. Starting off with which one's this one? A Tale of Two Rivers. Yep. So we're going to have this one here, which is going to be the title, and then of course the subtitle, and then the actual paragraph itself. Okay. So you can change that for each one. That's completely up to you. Now we do have a small image on the left of it, and that's going to be coming from this source right here. Okay. So if you see this SRC, that's a source for the image. So I use an online image, and that's pretty simple to get, and I recommend to do that as well for these little images, unless you want to put your own image for them. That's up to you as well. You can do it, like I said, at the top one for the face image, but if you want to use a source image from the web, it's pretty easy. All you got to do is open up a Google tab, go search whatever image you want, such as maybe Office, and then all you got to do is right-click on the image and copy image address, all right? Make sure it's copy image address, not the copy image address. And then all you got to do is just paste that in. Yep. Awesome. And that's what you can do for each one here and here and here. That's completely up to you. Awesome. So then we have another section down here for another one. And again, you can do the same thing. You can change out the title of it. You can change the subtitle and of course the paragraph if you want. And of course the image as well. For the next part, you can do the same thing. You have a source image right here. You have a title here. And of course subtitle and the paragraph. Awesome. All right, now for the one down here, this is the contact section. The contact section, of course, is filled with a header that says contact me. And we have one here that's going to have an image resembling it's going to be like an icon for navigation. So you can change, of course, the navigation here to put maybe the town you live in, the city, the state, or even the whole address. That's completely up to you. Then we have a phone one right here. You can enter your phone number here if you want. Now, if you ever want to get rid of a whole section, that's pretty easy. Just take away the paragraph tag. So let's say I don't want my phone number here. Simply enough, I'm going to go ahead and highlight this here and just backspace it. All right, awesome. So if you ever want to remove a section, then you can do that. All right, then the last one, of course, email. You can put your email there as well. All right, and then the last section we have over here is the footer section. Okay, the footer section, of course, is just going to have the last updated right here, and you can change that to whatever you want as well. All right, now what's this script thing down here? Now this is just doing the functionality for the navigation bar. All right, now the navigation bar is that little thing we click on the top right that we can navigate through the website. Now if we go up, way up here, we have the actual navigation itself. So if you want to change the tag name of each navigation, you can go ahead and do that here. That's going to be these A links, okay? Now, how is it actually navigating? One, it's using the function on the onClick. That's using the close nav or open nav. And that's being called way at the bottom here. That's all that's doing is using the open nav and close nav. And it's navigating by using this little hashtag number here. And I think it should be one of these. As you can tell, we have, href. So it's using the href to find it. Maybe it's not the href. It's, this one's, I closed this one out. This one was just for home, which will go to the main one. So see this little href here on line 58? That's the hashtag means it's just going to go to the top of the map, basically. Now, if you want to go to a specific one, then you're going to have to title it for an href. So we have welcome here. So the href for welcome. Now we can actually go ahead and find where that is. We can simply double click it, Control F to find, paste that in there. Might not be looking for it correctly there. Hold on, let me copy it a little better. Copy. Control F, paste that in there for welcome. Go ahead, find it. It's going to keep looking for it. And I think one more should be good. Yep. So see this ID, that's what it's looking for. So it's going to go to this section, wherever this section is, because it has that welcome. And that's going to be for each one, such as maybe the contact one or the skills one or whatever one we have. I think currently, though, it's only going to navigate to the main home one, which is this one, which is an empty hashtag. It's also going to navigate to the welcome, the about, and the contact, which is pretty much all you need for now, unless you're going to add more sections in the future. All right, awesome. So make sure you have all this down. Make sure you edited what you want. Then all you got to do is go up to the file here, go to Save As, and give it a name. Usually I call it index. And then because this is an HTML document, remember to do .html, okay? Make sure that .html is there or it's not going to work. So go ahead, save that where you want it. I'm going to put it in my documents over here. If it says it already exists, I might just go ahead and hit yes to replace. Awesome. All right. Now let's go ahead and actually post this. So let's go ahead, minimize. Let's go to our GitHub and make sure you signed in and created an account. I don't think you necessarily need one for downloading the code, but if you're posting something and you're hosting a site, you definitely need one. So go ahead, sign in with your GitHub account. Now what we're going to be doing is creating a new repository. So right over here on the left, there should be this new button. So we're going to click that and we're going to go ahead and give this a name. I'm just going to call this My New Site. Or maybe we can call it Bob's New Site. All right, awesome. Go ahead and make sure the name is available. Then the thing you have to make sure to do is also that it is public, okay? Because if it's private, then it's not going to be hosted and other people aren't going to see it. So make sure public is clicked. Awesome. We're going to scroll on down. We're going to go to Create Repository Now. Let that load. Perfect. Now it's going to ask for some files. Now, because we already have the file in here, we're going to go ahead and just upload it. So I'm going to go ahead and click here. And then you can either drag and drop it in, or you can go ahead and find it. So I'm going to go ahead and try to find mine real quick. It should be in my quick access ones because it's right at the top. Awesome. And then I'm also going to use my face JPEG as well. So go ahead and put your image in there as well. Remember, it was called face. So if you are uploading one, make sure to save it as face. Okay. Awesome. Let's go ahead and put that there. Scroll on down. Let's go to commit changes. Let that load. Awesome. All right, once it's loaded though, then we're going to go ahead and go to the settings tab right over here. We're going to click that. We're going to go all the way down here to pages, okay? So go to pages, and now we're going to go ahead and actually host it. So as you can tell, it's configured to none right here for the build and deployment. So let's go ahead and change that to the main, and this should be on root. As you can tell, go ahead and hit save. Now it's going to go ahead and load. It might take a few minutes, so you might have to keep refreshing until you see a new thing pop up here. I'm going to pause my video until mine pops up. All right, looks like mine loaded. That's this little section right here. It's going to say you can view the site as well. Now remember, you might have had to refresh over here a couple times. So I'm going to go ahead and visit site, and there we go. Awesome. As you can tell, it looks pretty good to me. Has the name we changed, has the image. Scroll on down, you can see all the other things we were trying to build as well. All right, and let's see if the navigation works. We click on this, we go to welcome, perfect, at the welcome page. We go to about, it's at the about, and we can go to the contact, and it's at the contact. Awesome. Alrighty, so far so good. So that's how you can host a site for free and create a portfolio. Alrighty, I will see you next time. Hey guys, if you're enjoying this video and serious about becoming a developer, you should totally consider joining Red Fools Academy. Once you sign up, you will get full access to all of our premium courses, support from myself and the Red Fools Studio team. Our courses include full stack website development, app development, game development, and many more to come. On your first sign up, you get a free 7 days to try it all out. A link will be added to the description, or you can go to the official website at redfoolstudio.com. See you in the lectures!